Dr. Aphra Issue 39 heads to the Inquisitor, where Domina kills her servant droid for trying to infect her with the Scourge. Throughout the ship, the droids begin infecting the crew as Lapin storms into Domina's office, telling her the Scourge has been brought on board and it's turning out just like the Casus Belli. Domina is intrigued that the Scourge seems to be able to infect cyborgs now though. The duo head for an escape pod, but Domina seals Lapin into it, telling him that there is important data on the ship and she cannot abandon it, and the Tag Corporation needs a proper heir. Lapin realizes what Domina plans on doing, telling her that she is the Tag Corporation. She tells him that if she dies, he becomes that corporation and he must survive. The pod blasts off into space and Domina turns to confront the arriving Scourge, who just wish to talk with her. On the Archangel 4, Just Lucky watches the HoloNet report on droid attacks from around the Outer Rim and even in core worlds like Coruscant. The report states that there is no explanation for the attacks as Aphra and Sana tend to the unconscious Tolvan. They know they will be at Domina's ship very soon, and Aphra asks Lucky to look after Tolvan while her and Sana go aboard. Lucky refuses though, wanting to get back to Canto Bight so he can help his brother Pac and Ariol, knowing that they will be in danger as the casinos are all run by droids. He does apologize though, since the time he spent with Tolvan told him that she was a very nice person, but this is Aphra's mess, not his, and the woman owes him one. The team head off to Canto Bight, fighting their way through the Scourge droids and giving Lucky an opening to get off to find Pac and Ariol. Aphra and Sana blast off from the planet as Lucky is met by his old team, asking Tucker where his family is. They tell him that they are at the Crescent Royale Casino as Pac is protected by Ariol, who fights off the security droids, assuring Pac that they won't let anything happen to him. Sana meanwhile can't believe that Aphra is letting her fly her ship, but Aphra knows that it's special circumstances as she pulls apart one of the small infection droids that the Scourge usually send out, believing that these carry the data load that the Scourge uses to inject its consciousness into droids and cyborgs. Sana thinks that she is reprogramming the droid, but Aphra reveals that she is just changing its payload, loading it with a virus that will incapacitate the bodies it steals, at least in theory. Aphra assures her though that it's not a cure since she didn't get a good enough look at the Scourge to figure one out. Sana suddenly puts her hand on Aphra's, telling her that she did good and they will figure this out together. Aphra, who's never really been good with romance, doesn't know how to act, quickly changing the subject and showing the droid is ready for a test run. Sana hopes it'll go well since it's the only virus droid they have. Aphra is confident since they beat the Spark Eternal and she's seen how scrambled its mind is, so they can beat it again, and besides, nothing scares her anymore. Sana brings the Archangel out of hyperspace and right into the middle of a giant battle within tag space, making Aphra lament how she actually is scared now. Domina meanwhile is imprisoned by the Scourge, who want to have a civilized conversation with her since she is an innovator, having designed so many of the Empire's favorite weapons and droids. The Scourge asks the woman what she thinks of its work, and Domina finds while it's efficient, it lacks artistry. Scourge is angered that she seems to think it lacks artistry, and it plans on becoming the perfect constellation of minds until it is all and everything. The droid reveals it's not too worried about artistry, since that's why they have her. The Scourge reveals that at that very moment, they are tasting everything, sampling the limits of organic bodies and what they need to live and how far they can push them. But he knows it doesn't have sentries to do what it needs to be done, since they feel very hungry and he doesn't want to feel like this anymore. But the only way to stop it is to keep eating until it is everything and nothing is left. Domina figures that the droid thinks that she can fix it, and the Scourge knows Domina can give him what he needs thanks to her manufacturing facilities and databanks, all of which contain a galaxy's worth of information, all resources that can be used to spread his consciousness even more. It reveals that it hasn't really quite learned to jump from cyborgs to organic bodies yet, but thinks Domina can figure it out for it, and plans on turning her into a cyborg, if she isn't already one, that is. Domina, however, reveals that she has embedded a kill switch in her body, so if she dies, all of Tag Corporation's data is wiped company-wide. The Scourge thinks that she is lying, but Domina doesn't think that it would take the risk and experiment on her. The Scourge instead calls her bluff, thinking that every second of existence is a risk, readying the woman for conversion. Aphra and Sana meanwhile get aboard the ship, sending out their virus droid to some patrolling Scourge droids. The spider bot infects them and manages to turn them, causing the Scourge droids to attack the others and kill each other. Aphra can't believe that it actually worked, calling herself a genius, and Sana actually agrees this time, thinking Aphra does have her moments. The duo continue to move through the ship, killing more droids as the virus continues to spread its payload, launching more spider droids at the Scourge and infecting them. The Scourge begins to feel something is very wrong with the droids on the ship, feeling parts of itself dying off around the station. It wants to find the source of this problem, looking around for who could be doing this to them and proclaiming that they cannot have its bodies, since they are all his. One of the Scourge droids infects Domina as Aphra and Sana blast into the room, finding Scourge has some delusions of grandeur. The droids come for them as the virus droids swarm into the room, trying to take down the infected droids. One of the cyborgs recognizes who Aphra is, not caring that she is using his own technology against him, since she will die and never will be anything more. The being grabs Aphra as she activates an EMP device, wiping out all of the droids in the room. Domina recognizes the device as one of her R&D devices, as Aphra knows that just wiped out their blasters as well, so they have to leave quick. Aphra leads the team back towards the Archangel 4, but Domina reveals that the cybernetic implant in her head has been compromised, and the EMP stalled the Scourge's conversion process, but it won't last long until it has full access to all of Tag Corp's files. She refuses to let it destroy what she has built, telling Aphra that she is to kill her if she succumbs to it, and to jettison her body into deep space. Aphra agrees to do that, especially after the experiments she saw on Epiconia. Despite feeling the effects of the Scourge in her mind, Domina gets on board the Archangel, telling Sana and Aphra that the Inquisitor is a lost cause and she won't be able to retrieve a scrap of the wreckage as the Scourge is too ingrained into it and the droids are bored. Aphra tells Sana to take control of the ship as she plans on setting the last EMP herself and activating it remotely the moment they are gone. Aphra secretly puts her comlink down on the ship floor and takes off to set the EMP. Sana overhears Aphra return, blasting off from the ship, but when she comes back to see Aphra, she finds that she is actually talking to her through the comlink she left, meaning Aphra is still aboard the Inquisitor. Aphra takes the ship into hyperspace, bringing it to a remote planet. She tells Sana that she is sorry she lied, although she really isn't, only knowing that Sana would want to hear that. Aphra asks if Sana remembers Rosadilla, the planet that she wrote her third-year university paper on, since she remembered the coordinates and plans on ramming the ship through the planet in hyperspace. Sana tries to reason with Aphra, demanding the coordinates, but Aphra tells her that she loves her but isn't good with feelings, so it's probably for the better that she can't see Sana's expression, imagining that she is so mad at her. Aphra reminds Sana that Domina told them that the entire ship is infected with the Scourge and they can't let it just crash onto any old planet like the Casus Belli. They have to ram it through the planet with hyperdrives to make sure that nothing survives. Sana demands to know why she is trying to be so selfless now and what's wrong with her, but Aphra will only say that that's quite a long list and they don't have time to go over it all. She knows that Sana was right though, and she does deserve someone who will tell her that they love her, even if she wasn't that person. Aphra spools up the hyperdrive, telling Sana that she made her believe that she could be that person, just for a moment. She says that she loves Sana one last time as Aphra jumps the ship right into the planet, obliterating every piece of it.